Hello, everyone. It's Melissa Simcox from By Mimi with Love, and I wanted to come on tonight, guys, and do a BeeBee Craft project share. And what I've done is made a Christmas card using the BeeBee Craft dies that I received for free. So one of the requirements is that you do a couple of project share videos. So this is my first project share video. And as you can see, I've used these dies to make this card. I've only used 3 layers of the dies. Here's 1, 2, 3 layers. I've I've stamped this, and then I used the double-sided pop-up tape from the Dollar Tree between each layer. And then I've put a bow up here, and you can see I've got the little trees here, and I did the trees with the this Stamping Up stamp set. And guys, this Stamping Up set I probably bought 15 or 16 years ago, and I use it about every year for my Christmas cards. I really like it. So I really love having tools. I've said this over and over again, that I can use over and over again. And what I like about the nested dies, because that is what these are, as you can see, each one fits into the next one, which is what makes it a nested die. But if you've got a set of nested dies, you have got an instant card, because you can do this on any, happy birthday, do your stamping, and just the layering of the card makes it extremely special, and yet it's very simple to do, and will work on birthdays, sympathy, any card you want to do. If you'll notice here, I've also used the bling that Beebeecraft sent me, and these are the small bling. It's the clear one, which I really love. I just think those turned out so pretty. Really like my card. But I also wanted to do a sample, guys, of a card, because it doesn't have to just be Christmas. Here's a different kind of card. It just says friend. I haven't put anything inside this one yet. Actually, on this one, I've got Merry Christmas on the inside with a whole nother size of the same die. So, you can see there's so much to do with these die sets. I just love them. But anyway, I did the same thing with this one. I just used this die set, and it's a tulip die set I got from AliExpress, and just did the tulips. And I'm going to show you how I did this. I'm going to make a card and show you guys how I do this layering process and stamping. I did the same process on both cards, but I just love how that turned out. And once again, there is the Beebeecraft bling in this like gold amber color. And I just love this. I think it turned out so pretty. Like I said, you have an instant card with these dies. And I just love the stitching around the dies. I think that's absolutely gorgeous. So we are going to make another Christmas card together. But what I wanted to do was use this tree because on the first Christmas card I said I used this one. So we're going to do this one a little different, and I'm going to show you guys how I do these. And you can do this with any nesting die set. And of course, here's the 2 die sets that I've used already. This is the die set that I use for the friend card. And here's a 3rd die set that I received from BeeBee Crafts. I got 6 sets, I think, of shape dies for like $17 or something. Once again, I will put the link to these die sets in my description box below. Guys, check out BeeBee Crafts. If you have 100 subbies or more, you can send them your email, tell them you're interested, and they will let you choose about $40 worth of product. Send it to you free shipping, and all you have to do is a haul video and 2 project share videos. Okay, you can't beat that. I am not a person with a lot of money. So I was so happy to try it out. And they really did exactly what they said they would do. So anyway, this is the die we're going to use to make this card. Now, I did go ahead and cut the dies out because you all don't need to watch me cut the dies out. But this is that die set, okay? Again, we're going to use this stamp right here from Stampin' Up. I went ahead and cut a 4.5 by 5.5 inch base. I'm going to have my card open this way. And then I went ahead and cut my first layer, which is 1/8 of an inch smaller. And I did that by cutting this layer 4.25 by 5.25. Okay. And then I'm going to do my stamping this way. Okay. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to use and set my base aside, and I am going to use some repositional tabs. And even though they're repositional, I'm still going to take a little of the sticky off because I don't want them to make places. And I'm going to put that on there, and I'm going to put down my first layer of that die as much in the center as I can get it. And I'm just eyeballing it, guys. If you want to measure it, you can, but can you guys see what I'm doing? Okay, let me see if it's kind of hard to see on this white paper, but see if that helps a little. Okay, I'm putting down this first layer. I'm getting it right in the center. And then I'm going to put on my next tab. Put it right in the center of that one. And like I said, guys, you can tell pretty much by eyeballing it. You'll see if it looks wonky because these nested dies are so well made that you can tell it's starting to And we're just putting one piece of repositional tab on the back of these. I mean, use whatever repositional thing you've got. You can double fold washi and use it if you need to. But these need to lay flat because we will be taking them back apart. But to do our stamping, we want them to lay flat. So I'm putting on the last pieces. And like I said, guys, you can do this with any nesting dies you have. Any. And then just use stamps across them. And then pop them up with the double-sided pop-up tape. Pop-up dots, whatever you use. Okay. So here's what we got, guys. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I am using my Memento inks. This is Cottage Ivy. I am going to use London Fog, and I am going to use Rich Cocoa. Okay. And I'm going to use a piece of book paper to stamp with. Let me get this over here like this. So let me move this out of my way. Move the bling out of my way so I have plenty of room for what I'm doing. Okay. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to get some of my background on this. Okay. So I'm going to use one of the makeup brushes from the Dollar Tree. You just can't beat these. And I'm just going to go around my edges. Get a little ink on there. And I'm going to go around my edges and just add some London Fog. Okay. I'm just going around. And guys, I tell you, I like to, when I'm doing this, I like to save these pages that I use to do this kind of work on. And then I just sometimes put those right in my junk journals, just as they are. I think they look really, really good like that. Okay. Now I'm going to bring just a little bit of it kind of up here on the top, because this is going to be the top of my card. So you kind of see what I've done there. Just add just a little bit more up here on the top. So I've done this, and I think I'm going to go around the edges with the actual Memento. but just the edge of this first layer. The only layer that wasn't cut with the die. Okay. All right, now that's what we've got so far, guys. Now we are going to bring down my Stamping Pro. Okay, this is my Stamping Pro. This comes off. Does the same job as the Misty. It's just a lot cheaper. A Misty's like $60, $70 and more. This was like 25 bucks. And it's called the Stampin' Pro. And the only real big difference between it and the Misty is that this actually comes off. And the Misty, you know, it just opens and closes. But I haven't found that to be a problem at all. Works just fine for me. But I am going to use it. I won't need this because I'm going to use the block rubber stamp. But it's still good to use because it keeps my paper where I want it. Okay? And one thing that I've already messed up on, guys, which, I mean, we do it. I needed this to be down here because I've got a really significant bow. So see, I took that there, you can see, and I just moved it down. And I'm just going to go in here and kind of wash out that line. I forgot I was going to put that bigger bow on here, so I need a little extra room. So let me kind of take out this line. Of course, guys, I mess up all the time. That is one of my favorite things about paper crafting. There's always a way to hide your boo-boos. Always. So I've just went over that a little bit more. And like I said, my bow is going to hide most of that. So all I did was move that down here and then put a little more color up there with my gray. Okay, so get rid of that. And we are going to put this in place. And then I'm going to take my Stamping Up and Stamping Up a stamp. And I'm going, that's one thing I love about these Memento inks. They're so easy to use on stamps because you can really get into places that you want to. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my cocoa, rich cocoa, down here. And then I'm going to bring it on up through here. Actually, I should have done that first. But we'll see how that works. And since I didn't do that first, on this first one, I am going to stamp off first. Okay. And I'm going to make it this more of a shadow tree. So I'm just going to go in. I'm going to go in over here on the side and just make it a shadow tree. Okay, see what I've done? Now I'm going to re-ink it, and this time I am going to use my brown first. And I'm not going to put the brown on the bottom. Instead, sorry guys, I'm going to use that gray, that London Fog. I'm going to use it down here on the bottom. Just along, this is really not a tree trunk. This is part of the ground. And then I'll come in with the brown and go up the tree. See, I just love the way you can use these stamps. I mean, these inks. Geez, guys, it's hard to say. I watch these videos back and I mispronounce so many things while I'm doing this. It is crazy. So I'm going up through here with my green again. And I am going to use a towel and wipe this off because, as you know, with the rubber stamps, you're better safe than sorry. So I always make sure they're clean around the edges. And now on this one, I am going to stamp right in the middle because I'm happy with how I've got this ink. So I'm going to do this one right in the middle. I want it to be my most prominent tree. So it's full color, full on, and I'm going right in the middle of the nested part. Not in the middle of the entire paper, but in the middle of the nested part. And because this is layered, make sure you know, sorry guys. Oh. And, put a little pressure on it and give it a few seconds. It always helps, especially with rubber stamps, really with all stamps, if you give it just a few seconds for that ink to transfer. And there's what I've got. Okay, pretty happy with that. And once again, I'm just going to do my stamp off right here and a little further up. And this is what I've got so far. Okay, now I'm going to do my next tree. And I'm going to come in with this gray down here. Brown up the middle. And then my green. And you'll see with me using just this single stamp how different the effect is than using the one stamp that went all the way across on this card. Okay, once again, I'm going to go to the side, making this one a little darker. And give that a chance to kind of, like I said, transfer to the paper because you're wanting to get those layers in there. Okay? That's what we've got so far. And then once again, I'm going to come over here on this shadow side. Move this out of my way. And I'm going to hit this once again. And here we are. Now, I think I'm going to do one more. Let me get this off from around there. Okay. And let's do one more stamping on there. Come up with my brown again. I enjoy stamping like this because every time you do this, it comes out different. You really cannot replicate this. And every time it's like, oh, I like it. Or sometimes it's, oh, I don't like it. But really, for the most part, you will like the result. I do this a lot with stamps. I think it's a fun process. It really is a pretty effect. And it's awesome with the nested dies. I think it's just a really pretty effect with the nested dies. Okay, now I'm going to go right in here in the middle. And again, I am applying some pressure. Giving it a second to transfer the ink. And here's what we've got now. And you can tell it's starting to look really unusual. I am going to once again use my and I'm happy with that, guys. I am very happy with that. Excuse me. Let me get a drink. I don't want to start coughing. Okay. All right. I'm very happy with that. So now I'm going to put up my Stamp Pro because now I want to do some different things to it. I want to first use my close up my inks. And I want to come in with just a little bit of my blue ink. And I need my blue brush. And I want to add just a little bit. Just a little bit of blue around the trees. Excuse me, guys. I'm going to bring it all the way down in the trees. Excuse me, guys. Let me pause this just a second. Okay, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. I just absolutely had a coughing fit. Okay, now I've added a little blue. Here's what we've got right now. And something else I want to do, just to add a little bit to it, is I'm going to take a paintbrush, if I can get a hold of it. Sorry. So sorry, guys. And I'm going to use well, maybe I'm going to use, let's use this one. I'm sure this video is getting a little long. Sorry about that, guys. I had to pause it again. I really appreciate every one of you that bears with me through that, through those kinds of coughing spells, because I really just can't help it. I have severe COPD and have a lot of lung problems. So I apologize. Let's get back to what we were doing. Okay, so I'm taking a paintbrush, and I'm going to use my green paint. I'm going to put my blue up before I stick my paintbrush in it. And I'm just going to go in here and fill in where I want some more green. Just picking up a little paint and not paint, ink, and just plopping it in. Just to give it a little bit more color, okay? Maybe just a little bit more. Okay. That's how we're looking so far. Now I'm going to take my stencil paste and, of course, a clean paintbrush. And I am going to do some snow. Okay, guys. This is a little fan brush. Be open to that. And I'm just going to take some of the stencil paste and I'm just going to place it and I'm just tapping it through my trees. Sorry, I'm getting quiet. I do that sometimes when I'm crafting. um, and I mean, I don't know if that's showing up. It shows up better. You can see here where the snow is. It shows up better, of course, in person than it does on the, and then I'll go down here and I'll get a little heavier um, down here. But you see how I love the effect of the little fan brush. We're getting some down here on the bottom. I want to get a little bit more up in the trees. Okay. And now, while my stencil paste is wet, clean off my brush. Okay. And then while my stencil paste is wet, I am going to put just a little skiffin of white glitter. And I just want a little bit. I don't want to overdo it. And it will stick to the glitter. I mean to the stencil paste. Like I said, I don't want a lot. Okay, so there is what we're working with so far. And I'm going to put that glitter back in there. It really doesn't take much. Now, that piece of paper I'm going to get out of my way because it's got glitter all over it. Okay. And here's where we're at so far, guys. Then I am going to come in with a white pen. And I'm going to put some white spots everywhere while my stencil paste is drying. And I'm just going in and just doing this. I'm hoping you guys can see that. I'm just making little dots everywhere to make it appear as if it is snow. And all of a sudden, my white pen is working. There it goes. Sometimes I think when I use it over top of ink or something like that, it kind of gets the ball on the end of the pen. Keeps it from working, and you just gotta kind of get that back off of it. I'm hoping you guys can tell what I'm doing, but I'm just putting little snow dots everywhere. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to pause you again, blow dry this, and then we'll be ready to do our next step. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I have blown it dry. It's completely dry. And now I am going to carefully take it apart. And I'm going to leave the pieces in order so I don't get confused. And in the way that they were together. I'm going to take my first biggest piece and I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to apply my Dollar Tree double-sided tape. Okay. And I'm going to do that to all 6 pieces. And then I will be right back with you guys again. Okay, guys, I'm back again. And I have put the double-sided tape on all of my pieces. So now I'm going to start with the biggest piece. And I'm going to remove my backing from my tape. And I'm going to put that right back. Let me move these ones out of the way. And I'm going to put that right back where it was. Let me see. I think I'm going to have to pick it up to do it. It's a little off. You know, that Dollar Tree tape sticks pretty well. Okay, there's my first piece. Then I'm just going to remove the backing on the tape for my next piece. And I'm going to do the same thing. Just trying to get that back on there the best that I can. There's the second piece. Same thing, guys. I just love this effect using any of the nested dies. In my opinion, it's an instant card. It always looks so pretty. It always looks like you've went to a lot of trouble. And you can get really creative. You can use the same color, same pattern paper. You could use different pattern paper. Okay, there's what we've got so far. And you see how now it's starting to really come alive, and that one's just, well, there's no moving it. Looks a little wonky, but once you really stick it down, you're going to tear up your whole thing if you try to remove it. So that's the great thing about being handmade. There are imperfections. And we're getting down to our last piece. Okay, guys, here is our last piece. And now you see that effect. I just think that is beautiful. I love that. I think that is so pretty. Okay. And there's our base. Back again, right? Okay. And we're just going to go around with our blue ink this time. And ink our base, and even going across the top. I'm going to flip it over. Okay. And then I am going to use my ATG gun and go right down the sides. One reason I like to use this here on this part is it does come up a little easier if you mess up than the double-sided tape that you peel. And then I'm gonna a little too far over. Let me try this again, guys. And I'm liking where it's at. Got it on its base. Of course, I'm getting blue ink all over me. And then I've got a bow ready for it. And let me get some. Let's use this beacon adhesive I got from the Dollar Tree. I'm really happy with the performance. And this is the bow I'm using. It's got a little piece of double-sided tape on it. Remove the backing from that. Then we're going to just slide that bow right on here. That glue string's like glue gun, but that's kind of what it is. It's a cold glue gun glue. And there you have it, guys. What do y'all think? I think it looks gorgeous. I love it. I will put a Merry Christmas or something in there. But like I said, these are beautiful cards, guys. This is an easy make card. No matter what you're trying to, happy birthday. If you're stuck, you can always use your nesting dies and a stamp. And there you go. If you like this video and if you like my cards, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit that subscription button. And if you would, guys, tell me which card is your favorite. That's always fun to know. Thanks so much for stopping by. I know this was a long video, but I really wanted to give BeeBee Crafts the time they deserve. I appreciate all of the die sets. Here you see 3 of them. And again, I used the bling on 2 of them. And I just think all 3 cards are spectacular. I love them. Like I said, if you like them, give me a thumbs up. Thanks so much for stopping by. Thanks so much for being patient. And from Virginia, guys, we'll be seeing you all. Have a great Friday. Bye-bye, guys.